Hello everyone. As one of you might heard already, that permissions on profile are going to expire with the spring 26 release. Okay, to be fair, Salesforce postponed it already, and we're not 100% sure when it will happen, but let's say time is running. So let's assume you still have all your permissions based on profiles. Um, yeah, you need a plan for the, let's say, near future to get this transformation done and move everything to permission sets. In this video, we will look at a tool which is called user access policies. That's a native tool by Salesforce, which which allows us to um, add or revoke permissions to our users based on criteria with this tool. It's a quite simple tool where we might have used flows or epochs before. So let's have a look at it. First of all, we will go to our user management settings and enable this user access policy. In the second step, you see here now that this user access policies appears and we can create now a new one. I will call the sales for the moment, and in 1 second, I will tell you how we can do that. Of course, as I said, based on criteria, you can add or revoke permissions. And here we want to say in our example, to all our sales reps, we will create a permission which is called sales or permission set or also permission set group and assign it based on criteria. You see here a order number. It's quite easy. You will see this in a few seconds that you can, this new user access policies, you can either, let's say, trigger manually, or you can run this automatically like you're used to it from a record triggered flow. Once a record, in this case a user, is created, updated, or both. That's the reason why we have this order number. Let's assume you have a lot of this user access policies running automated, then it's just who runs first. Quite easy. So now we have this, and now we can set an entry edit, or we can edit our entry criteria. So that's it. As I told you, what you have to do first is you have to find your permission sets and permission set groups. That's the reason why I've created here a permission set, which is then called sales, and also a permission set group, which I called sales rep. And we will have a look at this in a second. It's also this current assignments to my permission set group. So what I've done also, it's yeah, just here as an example, I've created a new field in the object manager of our user object, which I've called business area. Here I've made a simple pick list with the values sales, marketing, finance, and also assigned here this business area sales to my actual user. Why I did this, I will come to this in a second. So you see here we have our entry criteria. And this entry criteria can either be a group, queue, profile, role, or permission set you're already in. Or we can use these fields we have on our user. And that's the reason why I've just created this one. And let's pick our resource, which is called business area, and select this value sales, what I've assigned to my user. So, and what we can do now is, of course, you can here put multiple conditions to it. You can, as I said, grant or revoke access to, also created permission sets, permission set groups, queues or groups. Of course, not profiles, because this will be gone. So we will grant access to our new permission set, which I've created, which is called then sales, and also grant access to our permission set group, which is then called sales rep. So with these actions here, based on our defined criteria, we can either grant or also revoke permission sets, permission set groups, access to groups, and so on. Let's save this. And what's important now is, you see this here, you have either the chance to apply this manually or automate this. So let's first have a look at the automation. As I said, here you have either the option when a user is created, updated, or created or updated, as you know it from, as I said, record triggered flows, for example. The only thing what changed now is here the status. Status was on design first, and now it's on active. And if I will deactivate this for a second, and now based on whatever you put in there, this user access policy will run and then add the permission sets. Especially once you create new users, it might be a very helpful feature, especially let's assume you have a sales rep, we have CPQ, and then you want to add this whole CPQ permissions to the user. Until now, you have to do all this stuff manually, and here you won't have this problem anymore. Once I click here on apply policy to users that meet the criteria, so once I click here and click on apply policies, so one second, let's have a look at my user first and have a look at the permissions. You see here that I do not have this sales permission assigned at the moment. I'm also not part of my permission set group. And I'll go back and I see at the moment my user is the only one that has our criteria fulfilled. So I have this field business area equals to sales. And I can now click on apply to selected user. Okay, click here on done. Now let's have a look at my user. Of course, I have to refresh this page once again. And we see now that our sales permission set is assigned here, and now have also a look at my sales rep group, and we see now that my user is assigned to this permission set group. So as I said, the big pro here of this feature is you can just set your criterias and assign permission set, group assignment, whatever, very easily without doing any coding and so on. That's perfect. What's for me the bit of the con of this feature is, let's assume you have already hundreds of profiles in place and want to get this transformation done from this permissions on profile to permission sets and permission set groups. This tool doesn't do any transformation for you. So it doesn't transform existing profile into permission set. So you have to create everything first. But as I said, on the other hand, for the future, I think a very helpful tool. And now we will also have a look at, let's say, other tools to see how we can get this transformation, which this user access policy aren't able to do, done. Thanks a lot. See you in our next video.